Welcome back. So this Africa Month, renowned fashion label House of FabroSanz is celebrating various cultures by merging print with modern designs. The label opened its first flagship store on Africa Day. The store itself is adorned with African-inspired structures and draped from the floor to the walls with Nguni-inspired prints. But what does it take to keep this label alive? Let's speak to creative director Sandi Mazibuko, who's live to us in studio, dressed in one of the fabulous fabrics, as it were. Thank you so much for coming through. I hope you're well. Let's speak a bit more about, I guess, what inspired this kind of label. You know, fashion for me is always such an experience. For one, because I'm pretty bad at it, I'm told. But secondly, often you get overwhelmed by what's out there.
So House of FabroSanz, we've been in the fashion industry for 11 years. This is our 11th year now. So when I started, you know, I've always been using African print because I love bold, colorful clothes. So in 2018, then I decided as a brand, we need to develop a print that is speaking to me as a South African, as a Zulu woman. So that's when we started exploring more with the brand and taking it to international stage as well.
And how's it been received there? Because what I fear is that in many instances, it's ironically the international community that tends to respond better than communities here at home.
No, that's true. That's true. It's been received very well. But I must say, even here at home, you know, because I think it's the way we present African fashion to them. You know, it's no longer that thing where you have to wear, you're going to a traditional ceremony only. So we present it into a modern, classic, you know, take. So people are very receiving, and they've been very supportive here at home as well.
Typically, traditional attire comes with, you know, notions of how it should be worn. You know, there's an ideological attachment to it. How do you, I guess, factor that in when you conceptualize in your designs? Because it's easy sometimes to cause offense.
Yes, true, because I have, let me just make an example with this kolo. You know, this kolo is the Zulu hat, which is worn by a bride on their wedding day. So I've seen people now, they sort of make it like a fashion statement, you know. So as a brand, we still respect that, you know. So you'll find when I do it on the runway, it will be maybe with our showstopper where it's something that will be worn by like a bride as well. So even on our print take inspiration from all those things. We've got like on the shapes, you've got the circular movements, which is more like of your stolo and izikaza. So I think it's very important as well to respect the culture as much as we take inspiration for it, but the way it's presented as well. Even when you go out to international stage, they need to know this, you take it serious as well.
Yeah, I mean, how does that complicate who then is allowed to wear some of the garments, you know? Typically, again, there are people who might feel that if you're not part of the culture, you shouldn't necessarily be able to, you know, wear some of those clothes. But it's a bit complex in the world of fashion, isn't it?
Yeah, no, you know what? I think nowadays, I mean, I can't even say, because with me, it's modern, you know? It's a modern take on fashion. It's trendy, it's current, it's now. So there's no... You know, the brand, I've always said this when people ask me my target markets, I'm like, we've managed to attract the young and the old. You know, your mom, your granddaughter will buy from FabroSanz because they can all relate. They see themselves in what we produce. So there's no longer that restriction. We don't do something like that where it's like there's some restriction on who can wear this and not. So the way we interpret it with the prints that we have, the young people, I always see them, they wear them on their graduation days, matric dance, you know, and then you find the adults as well wearing them. So I think it's a beautiful thing to see, really.
Absolutely. In the past, there have been, you know, fears that sometimes if you want to wear African print and African garment, you have to compromise quality. And I think, you know, there you go. And a lot of people have pointed that out as reasons why they wouldn't necessarily support that kind of clothing. But I think things have changed.
Things are changing, not completely changed. We are changing that because, you know, as a brand, we've had some challenging with introducing patterns, the new prints as well. We experienced a lot of counterfeits. So with that as well, how it's the counterfeit, you can see, you know, the quality, you know. So when you see our clothes and then you see the counterfeit, you can immediately tell this is fake. So how we as a brand have worked so hard as well in producing it in best quality in fabrics that you can wear like every day, you know, not just in hard fabrics only, because sometimes you only find like wax fabrics. So we've taken it into different textures where you find like flowy dresses, you know, we even do like your swimwear, so that people can relate easily and produce good quality in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Financially? There's always been a conversation about that. It looks beautiful. People, I think, are proud to wear it. But whether or not they can afford it, I guess, is sometimes a different discussion altogether.
They can. With FabroSanz, I think I'd like to believe it's affordable. Everything is produced in South Africa, and textile printing is very expensive. You know, from the price that we pay in the printing, I mean, and how we price our garment, I believe it's very reasonable, because even with that, I would like to see more people wearing our clothes, our garments proudly. So I think we're quite reasonable.
Okay, I'll take your word for it, as it were. This moment, though, does also, I guess, invite us to reflect about how embracing we are of our own fabrics, our own prints.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
For instance, in the media, people who are news anchors sometimes are criticized for only wearing any kind of African print on things like Africa Day or Africa Month.
Yes.
I wonder whether you get a sense that that's changing, that people aren't waiting for an occasion to celebrate themselves.
I would like to see that change, because even, I mean, we've got Nguni print ties. You could be wearing my tie right now.
Okay.
You know, so we try. That's why I'm saying even the stuff that we produce, it's not that just wait for those special occasions. It's an everyday accessories, different accessories that you can wear, even scarves, you know. So I think slowly we'll get there. I mean, it's not something that will happen overnight, because when you think about other African countries, which is not South Africa, they've been wearing their prints because they've always had them. We didn't have, you know, we didn't have much prints. So it was mostly like your beads, and I mean, I can't expect people to be wearing ibeshu, you know. So now that they're starting to see that we're doing them in wearables, so they're starting now to welcoming and wearing the prints more.
Yeah, before I let you go, you speak about other African countries. I wonder how much collaboration does exist. You know, we are envisioning this world where there's one market for everyone, both buyers and sellers. In the world of fashion, do you feel that there are strides being made to have cross-border collaboration?
Not yet, but there's, I've been working with the Department of International Relations. They've been trying to do that. There's a designer from Senegal that we always collaborate with when they have like big events, maybe celebration. Even next month, we're going to be going to Botswana with that designer. So there are talks of something like that.
All right, I'll have to come by and see which tie I can wear next time we speak. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Really do appreciate your time and for making the effort to come in. Sandi Mazibuko is the creative director for fashion label House of FabroSanz. Once again, thanks for your time.